So there's a video from Cinnamon Toast Ken that I want to take a look at. Him and Dane made a whole video talking about these changes that are being implemented to platforms. Y'all are probably already familiar with them. The discussions of disorders and content. And yes, I am censoring because I don't feel like being removed with a lot of other creators. Now, I'm sure a majority of y'all are familiar already. If you watch my channel, I know y'all are familiar with it. The TikTok lawsuit situation. If y'all watch Vera the Chukin, y'all know about the lawsuit situation. If y'all watch Jadenist or anybody else, y'all are familiar with the lawsuit situation that's currently going on with TikTok, and a lot of other platforms are kind of following the lead and being called out as well. So YouTube itself as well has been getting very strict on certain content that is or isn't allowed. Now, this lawsuit sits pretty 50-50 with me. There is a side of me that is excited and very happy that creators such as Eugenia Cooney, Amberlynn Reed, higher and lower scale, and I can't even say calorie because YouTube will flag it, they're getting very sensitive with what we're allowed to say over here. And this is going to be like a rant I have towards the end of the video, or I might even just do like a separate video where it's kind of like a live stream vibe where I'm just kind of sitting and talking to you guys about the censorship and why it's been harder for certain creators to monetize their content or even stay monetized and stay in the YouTube partnership program because of the fact that they really are cracking down. Now, the thing about this lawsuit, why it's so 50-50 with me, is because, one, I fully do support it to an extent. I do feel like there needs to be action. They deserve to be called out for the harmful videos that they allow to be monetized and pushed into algorithm, even whenever TikTok's own safety team called them out and said, this woman right here, this Eugenia Cooney, she's a concern. We don't think she should be on the platform. We don't think she should be monetized. But TikTok said, bring her to the headquarters. We're going to give her free shit and goodie bags so she can go back home and promote them on live streams because we don't give a fuck. She's bringing us in money. And not just with Eugenia Cooney. She, I believe, is the main example of this, but there was other creators as well. Amberlynn Reed now is somebody who's also being called out for their bad behavior with promoting certain things on the internet. Now, why I feel like this lawsuit is pretty 50-50 to me is because, yeah, I really believe that something needs to get done. And it's not even really the lawsuit that I'm 50-50 with, but it's the platforms. It's obviously clear something needs to be done about this, but I feel like that there is so many channels out there, myself included, who try to raise awareness and provide educational standpoints. I personally give a lot of my opinions. Not very educational over here. Just simply talking shit with you guys. But there's a lot of channels out there who really do give educational opinions and standpoints and bring up statistics, and they're being demonetized for simply talking about it. And I understand one of my biggest goals was to get Eugenia Cooney, I'm not gonna lie, to step back from the platform. Whether she was removed entirely or not, that would have been up to the platform themselves, but I did think it was very harmful for her to be online, not only existing in the condition that she exists in, but also with the certain promotions of the condition that she exists in. And I'm so sorry, I probably sound so stupid right now, but y'all don't understand how strict that YouTube is getting. Like I said, I'm going to make another video probably just strictly talking about that. But even with me wanting her to be removed from the platforms until something would get better with her, censorship can be a very slippery slope, and I feel like that's kind of what we're seeing with not only this lawsuit, but with all these other platforms trying to step up their game with their censorship of certain things, including the mukbangs and also including the promotion of content such as what Eugenia Cooney does. Now, I want to play a few clips from Cinnamon Toast Ken's video because I like the way that he talks about it. He is kind of out of the loop more so on this situation and just now learning about it. It's actually his wife Mary who has brought it to his attention. And I like the way he talks about it because I'm somebody who, yeah, I know the situation, but I'm not that educated on it myself, you guys. So I feel like this would be a fun way to kind of learn more about it together and to see the true censorship that's actually happening. Not just with TikTok, but YouTube. Our platform that we use and enjoy because TikTok is not our cup of tea. So with that being said, we're almost 5 minutes into the video. Let's dive right into it.
There's some potential big changes on the horizon for social media companies because currently there's an ongoing multi-district litigation case in the U.S. federal court right now, which combines hundreds of lawsuits against some of the largest social media companies in America. It's called the Social Media Adolescence Addiction Personal Injury Product Liability Multi-District Litigation. Blah. Mary actually noticed this because she watches Amberlynn Reed, right?
Yeah.
And there's like this warning at the bottom that's like about like eating and things like that. And apparently several videos have been removed. We'll get to that.
Wow.
Yeah, so mukbangs are dead, apparently. Nick Avocado, lucky him that he went on his weight loss journey.
Boy!
because YouTube seems to be trying to get ahead of this by like go ahead and like letting you report videos that are about like, it pretty much puts like the eating disorder like that and self-harm. Like one YouTuber that they're using for this case is Eugenia Cooney, which if you remember her, she's extremely anorexic. She's been, people have been talking about her for years, like problems with like her mom is, there's a whole thing with that, right? And apparently, see on, when was it? It was Mother's Day, yeah, May 2025. They're using this live stream as evidence to where she has an episode. She says that she doesn't feel well. It doesn't have any audio on anymore, like the original one's gone now, but like she's sitting here and she kind of looks worried about something and kind of sitting there like something's bothering her, right? And she ends the live stream. She admitted she doesn't feel well and she kind of drops her high-pitched voice into like her actual voice because she talks like that. She kind of does the Michael Jackson thing.
Yeah.
I feel like this live stream that Eugenia Cooney did, for those of you who are unfamiliar with it, which if you're new to this channel, you might be, but if you've been here for a minute, y'all know. We covered it. Other channels that y'all watch who are mutuals with myself covered it. It was a big situation. It was a very scary situation, and myself and a lot of other channels were like, alright, she's not doing well. There's really nothing past that point of evidence that's just been inserted that can convince us otherwise that she's okay with the way that she's living and existing. And she doesn't need to be platformed because of situations and incidents like that where people are starting to realize it is this bad. It is this bad. There's no sugarcoating you can give to it. It's bad. And also a liability for the platform themselves for not only giving her and allowing her to have the platform, but monetizing her platform. I feel like that was a big wake-up call for a lot of individuals who watched her and were enablers of her to be like, yeah, this actually is getting to the point where anything can really happen at this point, and I don't feel like witnessing it on a live stream where I'm going to be traumatized with a shit ton of other people. And I think TikTok started to realize this as well, but I don't think that TikTok would have actually done anything about it unless they started to get the repercussion that they were getting. And this lawsuit, hence, then was born. Again, Eugenia Cooney's not being sued directly. She's mentioned in the lawsuit, but this is not directly about her. It's just about harmful content, and she is one of the biggest examples that I've seen that has been used.
Eugenia is one of the main cases they're using. And then after that footage on Mother's Day, Eugenia was invited to visit TikTok's New York offices. She had been supported by the app greatly, evading bans and taking part in many promotional events for the app. But on June 29th, 2025, her account was frozen as the plaintiffs demand TikTok hand over all communications and materials regarding Eugenia. Banning her would be seen as destruction of evidence, which is illegal, obviously.
Wow.
And allowing her to stay active would just generate more evidence that could potentially be used against her.
Now I'm happy this was brought up because, again, I work on minimal brain cells, and I'm not a lawsuit girly, so I don't really necessarily understand what half of this shit means sometimes. I rely on other people to pull the weight, and I just talk about it. But, yeah, made sense to me how he worded it. Because I was also curious about this, and I was like, well, if she truly is and was such an issue, and if she's no longer monetized, she can't post content, why is her old content still up? If they literally just don't want her, if they just want to do away with her and say, problem dealt with, let's wipe our hands clean of that situation. Because if they would ban her page completely because of this ongoing lawsuit, that could be considered destruction of evidence, since the court does want pretty much all these transcripts, they want all these records. And I don't know if they reached out to her directly and was like, hey, don't post until this lawsuit's over, or if she had a legal team who told her not to post until this lawsuit's over, just strictly because if she would be allowed to post, that would just give the court more curated evidence over time that they could then use in this lawsuit against TikTok. So as of right now, her account's pretty much just frozen, sitting there, existing how it was the day she had to step away from creating content, because TikTok would be fucked either way if they would ban her or allow her to continue posting. So it's just kind of at this standstill. So it makes a lot of sense as to why she's not currently posting, even with this ban and demonetization. And I talked about it before. I was like, it is her job, so I do understand. If you're not getting paid to show up to your job, you're not going to show up to your job. But at this point, with this lawsuit and how much traction it has held against Eugenia Cooney, with Eugenia Cooney, when it comes down to her content being used as a prime example of harmful algorithm being pushed to individuals, it makes so much sense that they really can't do anything with her or her account until after the lawsuit's over. Because again, like I said, if they would ban her, that would be considered destruction of evidence, or if they would allow her to keep posting, that's just going to curate more evidence for the courts to then use against TikTok in this lawsuit. So, in my strict opinion, she's done in social media. I don't think this is going to be a career for her any longer. Which, honestly, I have no objections about. I don't think social media was ever really good for her. I think it just gave her a place to exist with her order where she could find a community that supports her in it or even looks up to her for it, which YouTube I am not in support of. I should not even have to be saying that, but of course I'm not in support of it. I just have to be extra careful because YouTube has been cracking down so fucking heavily. But my original point was, I don't see her coming back to social media, and if she does, she's going to have to literally, in my opinion, just restart from scratch. I don't see TikTok accepting her back on the platform, especially not after this. But because there are going to be so many changes and regulations put into place for the safety of its viewers after this lawsuit, including all the censorship we are going to be seeing and going through after this lawsuit is done with not just TikTok, but all these other social media platforms, I don't see her coming back to social media in the way that she once was. And we speculated over here, what if she decides would be a wake-up call. She can no longer do the one thing she's always been passionate about, which is posting to social media, doing outfit hauls, makeup tutorials, and just flaunting her body. She's not going to be able to do that anymore. And a lot of us had speculated, what if this is like her wake-up call to go to recovery and do something with herself to benefit her own health and her body. But we've seen the images released from TMZ. That was a video I covered a while ago. She's not doing that. And I think it's pretty much because she has came to the conclusion, a general conclusion, that she's not going back to social media because of the law and the censorship that is currently happening.
She hasn't uploaded on YouTube in over a year. And let's see, is this pinned? When's the last time she posted? So the last time on her TikTok, 6/27. It's the last time that she's been posted. So I'm pretty sure she can't post anything, or has maybe even been instructed not to since this past summer. And she's not being sued herself, but like I said, she may be put on trial to testify under oath regarding this whole thing.
Right.
As of October, there are 2,053 lawsuits that have been like combined into this, and then another 100 were added in October. And they got like several updates. I don't know if this is actually related to that, but like Meta virtual reality child abuse, like two former Meta researchers told a Senate panel that children uses Meta's virtual reality platforms are exposed to sexual harassment, nudity, and even adults performing sexual acts. And yet their efforts to investigate were blocked. They said Meta deleted evidence, censored research, and prioritized minimizing corporate risk over protecting minors. Both left the company and raising concerns. Allegedly! I'm just reading what it says here, okay?
Yeah.
And then on another website, they go into like the allowing you to like work with this this firm to like file a lawsuit against the social media like addiction in teens, cyberbullying, like the fear of missing out. So you want to be there all the time, need of approval. So like your self-worth is tied to like your comments and things you get back, and social comparisons. You're over there. I mean, stuff that everyone's
known from the gate.
Yeah, everyone's been very aware of, but now, like, apparently it's, like I said, I didn't even know about this until literally yesterday.
That's crazy. I'm learning about it right now.
Yeah, well, like November 2025, a California judge denied requests for Meta, YouTube, Snap, and TikTok to dismiss multiple claims in an upcoming social media harm trial. The companies argued that the claims were barred under the Communications Decency Act, but the judge ruled that allegations involving platform features could proceed before a jury. So they're like, throw it out.
Meta, YouTube, Snap, and TikTok. Talk about major companies in this, man.
It almost seems like it's not even real. Like, it's just the scale of this thing is so huge.
Yeah, if you can get that much out of one county,
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, this suit is going to blast.
They just took
these companies.
Census. There's more to talk about, but like, Australia has already banned social media for anyone under the age of 16, right?
Oh yeah,
like you can't use any of the apps.
I think I kind of like that. I don't know.
Well, it's like everybody. I don't say everybody. I'm generalizing a lot here, but most people understand the unhealthiness of social media.
Yeah,
like
it's
not an unknown thing. Like you even you using it yourself, like you feel like you want to be on there. Like
it's even called. We even call it doom scrolling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like in the name, we call it doom scrolling.
Yeah.
Doom scrolling is one hell of a thing, and here is how the platforms have been so smart in setting it up to where we no longer used to scroll how we used to scroll, see a few funny things, and then continue our day. It becomes, I'm going to sit on my phone for 10 minutes, and the next thing you know, you have been there for an hour. Social media companies have it set up to a certain degree to where when you're scrolling through content, you come across so many short-form videos that are made to keep your attention and keep you engaged. And because of short-form videos doing so well with keeping people engaged and keeping their attention and keeping watch time under their belt when it comes down to scrolling during the day, short form content was then what was pushed pretty heavily on a lot of people, even on different platforms such as YouTube, even Instagram and Snapchat. And platforms have realized that certain content gets people engaged to a certain degree, and I also think that it's also kind of predatory on mental health issues. So if they see you searching certain things, certain content will then be promoted and pushed to your account, changing your algorithm. And I've said it before, babe, and I'll say it again, social media companies do not care about your mental health or your overall well-being. They care about keeping you engaged with content, so they fill up your subscription feed, they fill up your recommendations, and randomly placed algorithm to your account to keep you engaged and scrolling, no matter how bad it is for your mental health or what's being promoted to you. There are even personalized ads that they will create for you. So if you search up a healthy recipe because you want to have a healthy night with your family, you might get weight loss medication or certain vitamins or certain workout routines or even just or ordered content that's going to be pushed to you because you decided you wanted a good recipe for a salad. And the sad truth of the matter, TikTok would have never cared about your well-being or your overall mental health or physical health if it wasn't for this lawsuit and the censorship that is going to be starting to take place, which I don't know when it's going to be taking place, but by the looks of it, a lot of major platforms are in the works of censorship, including YouTube themselves. Now, when it comes down to the censorship of social media platforms strictly for minors, I do believe that certain algorithms should be put in place, but also censorship on social media platforms strictly for minors is such a slippery slope. You can't truly tell if that is a minor or not that is going to be accessing that social media account. All they ask you to do is sign up for it and enter a birth date. And it is so easy to put in a false birth date just to have access to 18+ content. So YouTube had the bright idea that for minor protection, instead of keeping them under wraps with YouTube Kids, which was a platform created by YouTube for users of YouTube who are minors to have a safe space to go to, they decided to implement it to the actual YouTube platform that was made for pretty much everybody and said, we are going to be asking for your ID. If you don't provide your ID, we're going to just think that you're a kid trying to evade, our guidelines and just come across 18+ content. So we will personally restrict your account based on what we believe your age is based off of what you're watching. So I do agree that there needs to be safe spaces for children online, but they do have the YouTube Kids platform, and if parents aren't implementing that for their kids. I mean, there's only so much YouTube can do. They created YouTube Kids so kids can be safe on the platform and have their own space with personalized content catered to them that is kid-friendly. But because parents don't monitor their children appropriately, or give them YouTube Kids and just give them their phone and says, scroll through my own algorithm, YouTube decided they want to implement that ID system where you're basically handing them your own biometric data to ensure that you truly are of age to be able to watch certain things. And sure, that's good to a degree. I want the kids to be protected, but you cannot police every single user on the platform based off of what they're watching and just assume their age. There's actually a few comments under Ken's video I want to take a look at, and I know this is a little bit off topic, but also not really at the same time, but I do want to take a look at a few comments before we get back to the actual video. Someone said, honestly, it's a good thing that having an option to report things like that. It's good, and I hope people can find a healthier way to make content. Someone else said, restricting anyone's access to the internet/social media will not be good in the long run. They're already asking you for your ID, and y'all are just going to give it willy-nilly. The internet was supposed to be a place to freely access information. Now it's 1984. Someone else said Eugenia is such a stark example of a modern day pro YouTuber. She should absolutely be monitored and moderated if allowed to be on this platform at all. Someone else said no social media for minors out on this hill. I was that mom and proud of it. He didn't get a phone until 16 and no real internet access until then. And even then, I wish I waited because happened, and then that's all there was to do. Kids do not belong on servers, period. Too many predators and bullying. And I get it. The world's a dangerous place and the internet is no better, but I do believe that the parents need to step up when it comes down to censoring their kids and what they're watching online. But also, when it comes down to it, the platforms do have a responsibility as well to an extent, but it's more so with the general population of the viewers who are watching content on their platforms because, again, and I've said it so many times, community guidelines and their terms of service, they put these in place for a reason, and that is because they don't want certain harmful things to be allowed on their platform, but because those things bring in money, they try to just ignore it and say, well, it's not actually against terms of service or community guidelines, even though it clearly is.
The content creator, right? I feel like I've lived through making your life your content.
Yeah.
And it's extremely unhealthy. It made me not happy at all to do it. Doing the daily vlogs, or if anything happened, I'd have to take a picture and share it and get the likes and everything.
Yeah.
And to now, we come in here, we sit down, we make our videos, and that's it. All right.
Yeah.
I may post up there every now and then on Instagram or something, but rarely, right? That's you get sucked into it really easy when, especially you're a newer content creator. You're like, oh, everyone wants to know about me. Yeah, I'm first time I felt popular. Oh yeah, check me out what I'm doing. But yeah, it made me miserable. And then you hear about the people that are like, I gave up social media and I feel fantastic. And oh yeah, sure, buddy, whatever. Anyway, take a picture of this dude. Yeah. So I'm all for it. I think I hope this gets somewhere because, like I said, no matter. Maybe there's a disconnect between the age being old men now because we remember what life was like before the internet.
Right.
And maybe younger people are like, what the heck? Heck no. But having some kind of precedent and some kind of standard and a big enough lawsuit to prevent the mental decay that happens through social media is wonderful.
Now, my true thoughts on the situation, I do believe that certain censorship of certain things on social media is 1000% a good thing because nobody's signing up for an app where they're scrolling, watching drama and tea videos just to come across content that is going to affect their mental health when they least expect it. And they're not even looking for that content. It's just fed to their algorithm. Now, when it comes down to minors having access to social media, it 100% should be on the parents, but also at the same time, social media platforms, again, creating their own terms of service, their own community guidelines, and what they deem acceptable to the platform, they need to follow their own rules. And I've said it time and time again, even YouTube is guilty of this, where they allow and pick and choose certain creators who can get away with certain things that other creators would never get away with doing. And what it comes down to at the end of the day is the money that is being brought in from not only the view, the watch time, the engagement, but the viewership of certain products that are then placed in the video, the engagement with the person itself who is the content creator, the buying of merchandise that is linked below that YouTube may or may not take a portion of. I don't know. When it comes down to it, it's not about our mental health. It's not about what they deem acceptable. They, in my opinion, have created community guidelines that they wanted to abide by. They wanted it at first to be a safe platform and then got money hungry down the line when they seen how much they're actually raking in revenue-wise and just said, oh, to hell with the terms of service and community guidelines. We're going to do what we want to do because we can retire right now and be okay for the rest of our lives, and so could our kids. I've said it so often, it's a money game. They don't care about your mental health. And the frustrating thing about it is the people such as I believe myself who want to raise awareness about certain situations are being flagged for the awareness that we have spread or tried to talk about, simply because now they're cracking down on the content creators who we've been attempting to spread awareness about. So to me, it's like 50-50. It's like, yeah, we finally got our way, but we're in trouble too now because we wanted this to be a thing. We wanted this to be talked about. We wanted something to happen to protect the viewers, especially the younger viewers of these platforms. Anyways, this is a huge lawsuit. A lot of platforms are now censoring. Platforms such as YouTube are becoming very, very self-aware that what they're doing is actually harmful, and everybody who's called it out, yeah, we were kind of right, but to a degree that we're now getting flagged and in trouble for the content and awareness that we've talked about for years. I am really happy stuff's being done about this. I'm happy this is being talked about. I'm happy platforms are seeing the dangers of what they are allowing on their platforms, not only allowing, but monetizing. But again, censoring is a slippery slope, so this is going to be something that I think is going to be tweaked and augmented and worked on for a while to come. This is one of those situations where it's going to have to play out. We're going to see what happens, and we're just going to kind of have to ride the wave and go from there. But I really want to know y'all's thoughts and opinions on this. This kind of verifies why Eugenia Cooney, in my opinion, is not back on social media, because we did talk about if they would ban that account so nobody could see what she's posted, period, in the past, courts could consider that destruction of evidence. But also if they would allow her to continue to post the way that she has in the past, that could be more curated evidence. But also they could, if they would have reached out to her because they want all documents, and they had told her, hey, don't post like this anymore, that could probably be like, what's that word where you like persuade somebody to do something like in favor of yourself. Like, I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say there. Anyways, I want to know y'all's thoughts and opinions. I watched this, like I said, on Cinnamon Toast Ken's page. Him and Dane talked about it, and I really liked the way that they talked about it. They said a lot of things that made sense to me, so I wanted to share it with you guys in case y'all also operate some days on minimum brain cells. Made sense to me. I was like, it might make sense to y'all, so I hope you enjoyed it. I missed you guys. I will be back to posting, not regularly, but more than I have been, because I have been gone for a really long time. I've been enjoying my life, don't judge me. Tonight, I'm going to be uploading this video for you guys, but I do have another video that I want to upload either tomorrow morning or tomorrow night, but I also want to do a double upload tomorrow night and just go over and talk about the censorship that we are seeing with YouTube. I also have a Girl World video coming up soon with Amberlynn Reed, where we're going to go over her channel analytics and the content of hers that is currently getting banned and flagged on the platform for being harmful. That's going to be a fun video. I can't wait to make it, but I love you guys. I want to know y'all's thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I love you guys, and I'll catch you in the next damn video. Alright, bye.